Okay, so he needs somebody to give him specifics on what they did wrong. He needs specifics. And only then will he apologize. I got you, Prince Harry. I got your back.
Yeah, right.
Or here's just a couple off the top of my head, all right? Your wife's a bully. Her former press communications person who worked for both you and your brother, Jason Knopf, is on the record about the bullying she committed against people who were younger than she was, or who are less powerful than she was within the palace, who she made cry all the time.
Are you sure about that?
One of the other people that she apparently made cry was Princess Kate. She told Oprah that Kate made her cry, but now we know from your own book, Harry, that it was Megyn calling Kate a baby brain. It's your baby brain after she gave birth to her third child.
What?
To explain Kate's complaints about Megyn's wedding plans. All right? That's not polite. That is rude, as Prince William later told you in referring to your wife. That has a tendency to make people not like you.
Fact.
When you have the nerve to comment on their hormones after they just had a baby when you barely know them. Number 2, she's a brat. We know from Dan Wootton's reporting, which is, you can take it to the bank. Dan's reporting. He's got very solid sources. He broke Megxit and he was right.
What?
That she was upset about her tiara. She wanted the one and she couldn't get it because it had some stone that was controversial, etc. And Harry said what Megyn wants, Megyn gets, and the Queen had to reprimand him.
Boy.
That's the kind of story that makes people dislike you, within the royal family and without. Your wife abandoned her entire family. That's another thing, in favor of celebrities at her wedding.
Come on now, dawg.
She cut ties with virtually everybody whose shoulders she had stood on her way up the fame scale, just as soon as she met you.
Why? Why?
Well, that seems a little rude too, kind of disloyal, also annoying. And what was George Clooney doing at your wedding? You didn't know him. She didn't know him. That's who she had there instead of the sweet cousin or stepsister, whatever it was, who she had supposedly grown so close to. You said that in your Netflix documentary. She forgot that girl. She ghosted her because apparently she didn't make the grade. Never mind her step-siblings and so on. Half-siblings. Your fights with the press. You two look like a couple of whiny babies, and it's been going on for years.
And?
How many lawsuits have you filed against the Mail and so on? Forget the lawsuits, though. It's your whiny statements about the nasty press. Every single celebrity deals with it. You don't think George Clooney's had negative things written about him? Tom Cruise had negative things written about him. He doesn't use his speeches or his media appearances to whine about the mean media. They say the things that aren't true. We're sick of it. Shut up about your negative press coverage. Does somebody like Beyonce, who you love so much, look for a negative, obscure comment online as representative of her experience with the press and then act like a victim because of it? No.
God, please, no!
No, she doesn't. Because she understands she's had a similar experience to the one that you and your wife had for the vast majority of your time in the public eye. Absolutely fawning media coverage. You're the ones who made it turn.
What is he doing?
You. Not Prince William, not King Charles, not Camilla. You. They've given you fawning coverage. It is the opposite of what you are claiming, and it makes people dislike you. These constant complaints. Okay, here's another one. You're a leaker too. You're upset that the royal family leaks on you. You leak just as much as they do.
Boring.
You use Omid Scobie, your little stenographer at Harper's Bazaar. You use People magazine. But we all see what you're doing while you claim you have clean hands, and you absolutely do not.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
Here's another one. You abandoned the royal family in their greatest time of need. Both of you. You planned Megxit and executed on it. For one thing, when Prince Philip was dying in the hospital, you sat down with Oprah and called the royal family a bunch of racists.
What?
By the way, they now deny that. We'll get to it. You didn't care. And you didn't even have the decency to rule him out or the Queen when you knew he was in the hospital. And very elderly man, your own grandfather. No, still wanted your moment in the sun with the Queen of Montecito. Well, when the actual Queen Elizabeth, your grandma, was in the hospital, you two were sunning yourselves out in California. Everybody on the royal family went out there and upped their royal duties so that she could be rest assured the family still had her back and was representing the royal family, not you two. You were in the midst of your wine-a-thon out there on the West Coast.
So that was a lie.
You were happy to call her family racist when she was in her last year on Earth. You made the Queen's stress level go up, not down, when she was at her most aged and infirm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
You two both constantly play the victim. That's our number one complaint about you, despite the enormous privileges life has handed you. This is why we can't stand you. And it probably irritated your brother and your father and your mother-in-law too.
Appointment is immeasurable.
Right? You go out on Oprah, you and your wife, and want us to care about what title your kid is going to get or how big your castle is, like you complain about in Netflix. What color designer dresses you were forced to wear in your wife's case.
Here we go again.
Without stopping for 2 seconds to acknowledge the struggles of real people. No one cares about your kids' damn titles or your tiny castle or your beige dress.
Okay.
No one feels sorry for you, but you continue asking us to do so. And we're sick of it. Right? Your wife even wanted us to accept her as a Me Too victim, saying she'd been objectified. She was objectified because people looked at her on the set of Deal or No Deal and didn't want her opinion on inflation.
That doesn't make sense.
She was objectified. No good deed goes unpunished. They give her the role of a lifetime. She was a total unknown, put her on national television, gave her beautiful dresses to wear, did her hair and makeup, and all she can remember is, they told me to suck in my stomach and didn't pronounce my name correctly. I was objectified. What the hell do you think a model does? That's what you were on that show. You were a model. People pay to look at you. That's objectification. Deal with it. Or don't. But don't take the money, climb the ladder of success, and then show absolutely no gratitude and complain that you were objectified. Fact. That's why you got a paycheck. You and she both lie. A lot, especially your wife. Oh, I was told by the guy in The Lion King that people hadn't celebrated like this when I married Harry, like they did since Mandela was freed. Lie. Lie, as the Lion King cast has come out and said. You claimed your baby was in grave danger when there was a fire in the nursery when you did the overseas trip. He was nowhere near the fire. It was smoke out of an errant heater, and he was nowhere near it. He was not in danger, but you did that to make yourself look more aggrieved.